Nvidia has earnings coming up this week, and in this video, we're going to talk about what I think is going to happen after earnings. Because as of right now, even though the stock has pulled back for the month of November, we are still in a bullish super cycle. So I want to talk about exactly what that means and where I think we are headed. The first thing that we're going to do with Nvidia is what we do on any stock that we are looking at. We're going to zoom out to the monthly time frame so we can get an understanding of what is happening on a macro level. Now, the first thing that we're going to look for when we are trading any stock is to see what the monthly BX trender is currently showing. That is going to be this buy sell pressure indicator at the bottom left and bottom middle of your screen. You're going to see that when it is increasing, so light red into green, this is an indication that buyers are stepping in to push the stock higher. This is an indication of a bullish cycle, and this is the overall environment that we really want to be trading. The times that we don't want to be trading is going to be when it is dark red. So for instance, 2022 in March all the way down to January 2023 would have been nearly a year where we would not have focused on trading Nvidia. Same thing could be said for the month of February, March, and April of this year. Yes, we would not have timed the bottom the way that we did just by using the monthly, but it still would have made sure that we limited our drawdown and only focused on the strongest times of a potential breakout. Now, if we look at Nvidia right now, you're going to see that we are currently in a bullish cycle. Our entry trigger would have ended up happening here on June 2025 because the month of May closed and confirmed an increase. So once we get the increase, we have to wait for full candle closure. We enter on the very next candle. So in this case, you would have had an entry right around $135.54, and we actually called this bull cycle out on X. Now, since then, the stock is now up right now about 37%, and at highs was up about 55%. If we take a look at our returns for the past 24 years following this strategy, you're going to see that about 67% of the time when these criteria are met, we are going to get a breakout. So that's actually a really high win rate. You're going to also see that the average win or the average breakout is for 148%, and the average length is about 11.2 months. So that means the average bull market lasts about a year for Nvidia and then rallies anywhere between 100% to 200%. So that means that if this were to move the way that it normally does, of course it doesn't have to, then we are about halfway through this bullish cycle, and that we will most likely continue to run for another 6 months and probably close in the next 6 months up around $300. Of course, if the average occurs. So just off of that right there, I am still bullish on Nvidia because the macro, the longer term cycle is still very strong. And in most cases, when we get pullbacks, it's a very good sign that they're going to get bought up. Now, if we zoom into a weekly time frame, you are going to see that we are currently compressing or sitting sideways, and that the weekly BX trender is actually showing a decrease or is dark red. And this, once again, is not an ideal time to be looking to go long. It doesn't necessarily mean that the stock has to pull back. It just means that that bull market that we just talked about is in a dormant or a compression period. And this is where we have to talk about worst case scenarios after earnings. I do think that just based off of macro buying pressure, that we're probably going to break back out to all-time highs around $220 to $243. But in a worst case scenario, we would see price pull back into this weekly bias, which means that we could drop anywhere between about 10% to 20% before a potential bounce. Now, if price pulled back into this support level and didn't bounce, then that would cause the monthly BX to close red, and this entire bull market that we just went over is done with. But as I said before, looking at the monthly time frame, I think we're going to continue to break out. I think we still have another 3 to 6 months of a bullish expansion, and I do think we're probably going to rally after earnings. Now, to answer the question, would I be looking to go long on Nvidia right now? And that answer is no. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why would I not go long on Nvidia if I just said that I'm bullish and I think we're going to continue to break out for the next couple of months? Well, the truth is a stock can be bullish, but not be at a good entry. And that's because it all comes down to if you're buying a stock at a discount and if you're getting a good risk versus reward. Yes, the stock is bullish, but from where we got our entry trigger until right now, it's up about 37%, which means that you could buy in right now and still make another 40 to 60% in the next couple of months, but you're not getting it at a discount. So in my opinion, I think Nvidia is a hold versus a buy. I hope this video helped. I'll see you all next time. If you want to get access to all of the indicators that we use in these videos, as well as learn how to implement them within the strategy, go ahead and check out the link to our trading library down below. You'll get access to the BX Trender, the Smart Money Mastery and Smart Money Zones, and the volume profile. Each course shows you how to actually set up the indicators, the proprietary settings. Over 20,000 students have implemented this into their trading system and are seeing consistent profits from as low as $10,000 all the way up to over $3 million. The link will be in the description.